waiting for the cat to leave. The VGRT Gaming Podcast, episode 770, recorded on December 3rd, 2025.
I have the wrong notes. I'm sorry.
Good job.
I thought you shared these with me. You probably did. I'm trying to find them.
Yeah, it should be an email.
Oh, got it. Sorry. For some reason, I was on 769.
The VGRT Gaming Podcast, episode 770, recorded on December 3rd, 2025.
Hello, and welcome to the 770th edition of the TD Gaming Podcast and 603rd episode of Video Game Roundtable. I am TJ Dinzer.
I'm Scott Dirk.
And I am Jonah Falcon.
The VGRT Gaming Podcast focuses on game news from around the industry.
So, TJ, what have you been playing?
I've been playing
Marvel. Yeah, I was about to say, since they made since they made the TMNT game, they made a Marvel game.
Yes, the same folks who made Shredder's Revenge have made a Marvel co-op brawler. That includes X-Men.
The news items, actually.
Yes, and it's fun. It's really good. It's up to 4 players. They have a pretty deep cast of heroes and some really oddball picks. I really like that they have Beta Ray Bill because, like, when do we ever get Beta Ray Bill in anything?
All the time. He's extremely popular. Yeah.
No, he's not.
Popular. Yes, he is.
He is popular, but we don't get him in stuff that often. I think the last time I remember seeing him was Marvel Ultimate Alliance as a skin for Thor.
But yeah, I haven't played it yet. Well,
It's very good.
I occasionally get a request from friends to play it with them since it's multiplayer.
They since they have such a big cast of heroes, they added like a tag feature where like you get to pick 2 heroes and you swap between them. If you swap between them in a combo, then they'll do an assist attack. And if you're being hit, you can use them to break your enemy's strings. And it's nice being able to play a couple heroes out of that big roster at all times. It's really fun. And with 4 people, you basically have 8 heroes in play.
Cool. Scott, what have you been playing?
I've been playing a game that is complete garbage. It's called Kingdom of the Dump.
Okay.
And it's a turn-based RPG game. And it's set in this land of garbage and trash. And you're a little, like, metal trash can character. And it's based on the, old SNES RPG games, and you're
trash can knight. We know.
Yeah, you're a trash can knight, and the combat is interesting because it has a little grid, and you can move your character around. You can create tiles of oil that could be turned into fire. You could do water that can electrocute or be frozen, or put a regenerative tile there. You could have broken glass, and It's entertaining and fun, and there's a lot of different realms, and the map seems it's in mode 7, so when you're moving around the world map, it kind of bends, so it has this nice horizon-like effect as you're walking around, and there's these other different regions that you visit. One is like a toy land, and there's one for the mammals or animals, and then there's a laundry land where I guess clothes are kind of come to life, and they flush. It's weird, and it's cheeky and serious at the same time, and it's a very enjoyable game.
You know how you can tell a game is some fan work when a lot of the credits are just their forum post names, like Bobby Ghostly, EM404.
Yeah, I haven't seen the backer credits yet, but I'm sure there's a lot of that.
No, it's
in
not
there.
backer credits. It's the actual people who made the game.
Oh,
Well,
okay.
And, well, at least it's not like Hunt Down the Freeman. But yeah, it has some really good looks to it, even though it's about trash. There's a lot of really good artwork, including a dinosaur that's actually just a trash picking up machine at the junkyard.
Oh, yeah. There's a lot of that. There's like they have the Octo Monster at one point, where you like from Final Fantasy IV, you had the octopus. There's a octopus monster and he's holding like a little scrub brush and a laser gun. It's silly, but it's fun too, and it has a good story. You know, it's like it has like this drama happening too, which is really fun and just enjoyable.
Didn't you say you were going to be playing something else?
Yeah, there are other games I'm looking forward to, like the Octopath Traveler.
No, I don't mean looking forward to. I thought you said you were there was a game that you were playing.
Was it another game? Oh, let me see.
I'm not going to bother if it was Minecraft because I know.
No. Well, yeah, looking forward. I'm gonna after this. I'll probably be playing 8-Bit Adventures 2 after this.
Okay, that's not what I asked, but that's okay. I've been playing City Skylines 2 with all the things, and I'm getting used to a lot of the changes, like bike paths, and the fact that you can get small versions of all the regular things. Like you can get, instead of having to get the fighters, you can get the small fire station. You can get a small high school. You can get a small kindergarten and all that stuff. There's a lot of editing that you can do now. And I finally started on a city that I'm proud of, which I'm going to keep working on. But yeah, I've also been playing Clover Pit, which is not a new game. For those who don't know, Clover Pit is the slot machine version of Balatro. Except you have even less real control over what you can do in it. So I'm not sure I like it anywhere near like Balatro, but I'm killing time with it. Played Clover Pit?
I have not.
Anyway, we're going to move on to the first news item. Rockstar co-founder Dan Houser compares AI to mad cow disease and says execs are pushing it that aren't fully rounded humans. Basically what he's saying is that when you keep on using generative art, then generative art goes into the wild, and now the generative art picks up generative art. So you sort of have that carbon copy problem, which could be a copy of a copy of a copy of a copy. It's sort of like mad cow disease.
Yeah, it's getting messy out there. I agree with him. It's not going to create a lot of good content for people. It's just going to be very shallow and then very messed up as it goes along.
Well, I mean, in the mainstream news, actually, in New York, the Attorney General, mandated that OpenAI had to give up all of everything they posted because they were stealing from newspapers without their permission.
And that's the other problem, is they're constantly stealing. I've seen people putting in stuff into AI that, of dead actors so they could see them in a skit again or whatever to make a new meme for them, or turn them into Studio Ghibli drawings of them, and it's just ridiculous. And I know none of these people have given permission for their images to be used.
The other thing is that have you seen once you start using it for porn? So anyways, what's going on is that they're looking for $10 billion in a copyright suit. And here's the thing with OpenAI, they're bleeding money. And the thing is that you have this thing in which NVIDIA is giving them money and ChatGPT is giving money to other people, all this shady, money swapping around. But yeah, the lawsuits, there are 10 newspapers who are suing OpenAI, or at least 9 new ones. And the New York Attorney General said, yep, you can do it. And Microsoft's also involved in the copyright suit. I'm not sure how. I think Microsoft has some stake in it. I'm not in. But here's the thing: so many people have stake in OpenAI. I don't know who actually owns these people anymore. Oh, and the Attorney General, Delaware, green-lighted OpenAI's reorganization, which is kind of shady into itself. So yeah. Speaking of mad cow disease, they're just consuming themselves. Next item, the ESRB has rated Death Stranding 2 on the beach for PC, which is a surprise to no one. We'll probably see on Xbox like 6 months later. And I know that you like Death Stranding 2, TJ.
Yes, Death Stranding 2 is probably one of my favorites of the year. But as far as like this had to be coming from a mile away, right? Like there was no way this wasn't going to eventually happen. It took a while for the first one to come to PC, but
here's the thing: the first one came to PC, and it was on PC Game Pass.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm wondering, since Sony doesn't own the property anymore, and the thing is that 505 Games got away with it because, they're a publisher and they can do what they want. Sony told them, "Can you put this on PC?" 505 said, "Sure. Hey, Microsoft, how much are you willing to pay to have this on PC Game Pass with achievements?" So I'm wondering if Death Stranding 2 is coming to PC Game Pass as well.
Yeah, maybe. And it's also worth noting that when the first Death Stranding came out, that was Kojima Productions in its current form's first game. That was their first.
But here's the thing: Sony owned Death Stranding. It was
right.
a big deal that later on Kojima was able to buy the IP back from Sony, and now he's completely independent. Which is why Death Stranding came to Xbox, is because he was allowed to now. I'm just wondering if he's going to take advantage of Death Stranding 2 on Game Pass.
I should hope so. Probably. I would think it would be kind of open and shut on that end. But regardless, it's good. Death Stranding 2 is one of my favorite games this year, and I'm glad more people will get to give it a go because it's a pretty crazy roller coaster. And I think pretty superior to the first game as far as gameplay and story go.
I just want to carry around boxes and see how long I can balance them on my back. I want to do.
There's a lot of ways to do that in Death Stranding 2.
Sure. As we said, you've been playing Marvel Cosmic Invasion. The other thing is it's also on Game Pass as well. Which, makes sense because their previous game, Shredder's Revenge, was on Game Pass. So they apparently like the money that Microsoft gives them. Anyways, we're going to move on to game news. Go ahead, TJ.
Tim Sweeney. RAM pricing crisis isn't going anywhere anytime soon, from Tom's Hardware. RAM pricing is quickly developing into an existential problem for high-end PC gaming new builds and upgrades. If you don't already have an uneasy feeling about a 64-gigabyte RAM kit costing more than an entire PS5, Epic Games CEO Tim Sweeney's sage observations might begin to stir your gizzard.
You didn't like that.
Scott's dog's gizzard already. Sweeney's social media musings embedded above came in reaction to a fellow Twitter's observation. In brief, the Fortnite figurehead was commenting on a post expressing shock horror that a crucial Pro DDR5 6000 kit they bought from Amazon for $260 in mid-October jumped to $498 a little more than a month later.
Well, let's stop there. That's the same item that nearly doubled its price in a month.
Yeah, that's insane. That's insane how much that jumped.
And it's a Black Friday deal.
Yeah. And this is despite being a Black Friday deal extravaganza, which seems to mean nothing in relation to this particular PC component. On the massive inflation observed by the Amazon shopper in the U.S., Sweeney remarked, RAM price increases will be a real problem for high-end gaming for several years.
Or at least
of course, the AI server building frenzy isn't just affecting the DRAM markets. In recent months, it has also been sucking bargains from consumer SSD land, and effects are even now being felt on storage solutions like HDDs and high-capacity micro SD cards.
I think he meant 3 more years.
It's interesting to think about because I have a spare SSD that I've been kind of holding on to in case one of my other SSDs fails. And I kind of wonder what it would cost right now if I went and looked for it. Like,
and here's the thing, I was looking at CyberPower PC and these other do-it-yourself stuff, and it's like they're offering PCs for $3,000, that I would think would be like $1,500. So yeah, the tariffs are not doing anybody any favors right now.
No, not at all.
So.
Yeah, I don't think I'll be upgrading a computer for a very, very long time.
Thank goodness for consoles. And I'm more PC-centric than most people, but thank goodness for my console.
Well, I do have a Steam Deck, so that's really good.
Yeah, but that's still PC.
Yeah.
I don't know. I want a new PC at some point. I mean, thank goodness Affirm exists, so I could do slow payments. See. Although I haven't seen them increase in price yet, but I'm thinking about upgrading my cell phone soon, and maybe I should do it sooner than later.
I don't know. I don't like having to upgrade stuff in short term like that every 1 or 2 years. I like to keep stuff lasting a long while.
Anyways, we're going to move on to the next item, and I'm pretty sure TJ will find this funny. Arc Raiders adds hilarious new feature to prevent locked room exploitation. This comes to us from Eurogamer. A recent Arc Raiders update has added an inventive new solution to the problem of people breaking into locked rooms. If you manage to break into these locked rooms full of valuable loot, but without the required key card, you're cooked alive. If you don't know, locked rooms are few and far between on each map and generally require a key card to open. By using the key card, you can unlock the room for everyone, allowing you to get in there and loot through a space saturated with high-rarity gear. But this is dangerous because not only are the key cards themselves rare, but other players can wander in and kill you while you're scavenging or while you make your way to the extraction. It's a core part of the risk and reward loop present in Arc Raiders and extraction shooters in general. However, exploiters were finding inventive ways to get into these rooms without the key card. Oh, by the way, they do the same thing in Helldivers 2. But since everybody's on the same team, it's not as much of a concern. This could be clipping through a locked door or hopping through open windows, dropping through the ceiling, etc., etc., etc. Not only does this keep the door locked while you loot, but it also means if another player goes into the locked room with a key card as intended, they'll find it barren, wasting their key card for nothing. But this new anti-exploit detects whether or not the players inside the locked room have the key card, and if they don't have the key card, it kills them without hope of escaping in a slow, scorching fashion. Then if someone does turn up with a key card and opening the door, they'll find a bonus body along their locked room loot. Okay.
This is cool because this is there are all sorts of metas built around trying to exploit a game, and this is a funny way to answer that. I've seen the videos, and just watching somebody phase through into one of those rooms only to get torched to death because they didn't unlock the door is hilarious, especially for a game where dying means you lose everything that you collected along the way.
Here's the other thing, though. They could have made it fast. No, they made it slow. They wanted you to torture. They wanted you to see your guy slowly burn to death.
Yep. And it's mean, but it's also hilarious because why are you doing that? You should be just playing the game the way you're supposed to. And if you don't like playing the way you're supposed to, then you're going to die in a fiery room.
Yeah, there are ways to get into locked rooms in Helldivers 2, like putting your mech against the door and then exiting your mech. But in that case, no one really cares because it's a co-op game and they're probably going to die on that planet anyway. But we can always go back to the original exploit in which Crow Team had, and that was a pink giant scorpion would keep attacking you that you couldn't kill. And people made a game of it, seeing how long they could survive the giant pink scorpion. I don't know if you remember that from Serious Sam. Or if you can hear me. There must be some sort of lag.
Oh, yeah. Okay, sorry. It was out for a second.
I was talking about the giant pink scorpion in Serious Sam.
Yes.
If people had a pirated copy who would come and attack you, and people made a game of seeing how long they could survive against that giant pink scorpion.
Yes. And I don't think that you could exploit this exploit though. Like I think if you get into that room without a key, you're dead one way or the other. I don't think you can exploit your way out of there.
No. Anyways, we're gonna move on to the next item. Go ahead, Scott.
Okay. GTA 6 footage leaks. This is from multiple sources. A short demo reel appeared online, initially via Vimeo, attributed to the former Rockstar animator Ben Chu. The footage reportedly includes early development animation, not polished in-game cinematics, but still shows character interactions and movement. Among the clips that generated the most interest, a character, likely the male protagonist, taking a bicycle from a public bike rental rack, mounting it and then dismounting and returning it, suggesting bike rentals could be a traversed option in GTA 6. Another clip of a female character, presumed to be one of the confirmed protagonists, Lucia Camininos, jumping off a roof of a pickup truck, dropping into the street. This hints at the possibility of a traversal via truck beds or more dynamic environmental interaction. The demo reels also reportedly contained animation samples from previous Rockstar games, like Red Dead Redemption 2, Grand Theft Auto 5, and Max Payne 3, which lends a degree of credibility to the leak.
By the way, Red Dead Redemption just was released by Rockstar, a new remastered version. And it's free for people who own the digital copy, which sucks because I own the physical copy.
Yeah,
they can't upgrade the physical copy. That's unfortunate.
No, because you could have rented it.
Yeah.
GTA 6 next year, I guess.
Yes. It's I don't understand how people can still try to I don't know, when you pull a clip from a game like that this early, it's still got about a year on it before it comes out, and that's if they don't delay again, which feels like a big if.
Well, I mean, this guy's looking for work, so he's just showing what he's done. Unfortunately, he made it public. LinkedIn.
And like it says, it's not polished in-game cinematics or anything like that. It shows some character interactions and movement, but we're talking about
that's even worse though, because people will say, "Oh, it looks awful."
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is that in a year's time, this game could look completely different and play completely different from what that guy showed. So it really doesn't do the game any favors or provide anything that's when you get game footage that early, it's interesting from an archival perspective, but as far as talking about the quality of the game, nah, people buy into that stuff too much and it causes problems.
Anyway, well, go ahead.
I was just going to say, people don't seem to be aware of work in progress, and you have to constantly remind them that things, can look different, like you said, and that this is like a rough draft.
Yeah, but people are so eager for any sort of GTA 6 content. They're desperate. It just tells me how much this game is going to make when it finally gets released.
I have so many games to play that I'm not even worried or thinking about GTA 6.
I mean, this is our Dragon Quest. They have holidays for Dragon Quest games in Japan. I think people have a holiday for when GTA comes out, a new one.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to Dragon Quest 12 whenever that comes out. I don't know when that'll be.
Japanese.
I can still. I enjoyed Dragon's Quest when it was Dragon Warrior back on the NES, so I never stopped.
I think you're just waiting for Octopath Traveler 0.
And Trials to the Horizon, Horizons. Trials to Horizons. That's next year, January, I think.
Did you see? There's not going to be a new Mass Effect anytime soon. I know there's a Mass Effect 4 but they showed off another game that's very Mass Effect-like, and now I'm forgetting the name of it, which piqued my interest. I think it began with an A. I'm going to do a Mass Effect style. I know it's going to be at the top of the list. I don't know if you've heard of it, though. They're not showing it. Oh yeah, no, it's not that game. Right, there's Exodus, right. And the reason why they think of it as sort of a Mass Effect-like game is because some of the devs from it are from BioWare, but also from Horizon and Metroid. So this has nothing to do with any of the news that we've been doing, but what do you think of the people complaining about that annoying helper voice in Metroid Prime 4?
I've seen it. It's not as annoying as people made it out to be. Like, it's.
I don't play Metro, but it seems annoying to me.
I mean, that guy is like in a handful of scenes, and then you don't deal with him for the most of the game.
But he spoils secrets. I think that's what people really don't like. And he also states the obvious.
Yeah, he states the obvious for like the 10 minutes that he shows up to talk. But like people are acting like he's a constant throughout the entire game. He's not. He shows up for like 1 second, you save him, and then he goes hangs out back on the hub in your base, and you really don't hear from him much. He's not like quipping throughout the entire game every time you do something.
I think the game has other design issues, but
I think that people overreacted. I think they blew it way out of proportion and pretended like, oh my god, this guy is in my ear the entire game. It is not.
So it's not like Navi.
No, it's definitely not like Navi. It's pretty much just like a few minutes of him talking and being just a nerd, and then that's about it.
Yeah. So we're going to move on to the next item. None of you are going to read this one. Fortnite community attack suspected AI slop, so I'll just have AI speak it.
Reports from Fortnite's community this week sparked controversy after players noticed what they believe are AI-generated images appearing within the game's Discover feed and user-created content hubs. Fans pointed to several promotional thumbnails and map preview images featuring distorted limbs, uncanny facial details, and the glossy, over-processed look associated with generative AI art. The phrase "no to AI slop" quickly emerged as a rallying cry on social platforms, signaling frustration over what some see as low-effort, algorithm-produced artwork creeping into Fortnite's ecosystem.
And our podcast.
The criticism goes beyond aesthetics. Long-time creative mode builders argue that if AI-generated images are being used to promote maps or draw players to UGC experiences, it undercuts legitimate artists and small creators who rely on eye-catching but handcrafted visuals to stand out. Several players expressed concern that the presence of AI images, whether intentional or not, risks turning Fortnite's once heavily curated creative space into a content farm free-for-all, diluting the originality that helped the mode thrive. Others in the community urged caution, noting there's no definitive proof the images are AI-generated. Some argue that the visual flaws being flagged could simply be the result of stylized art, rushed asset creation, or normal rendering quirks. Still, the backlash highlights a larger tension brewing in modern gaming communities. As generative AI tools become more accessible, players and creators alike are pushing back against what they see as a slide toward algorithmic disposable content, fearing that it may crowd out human creativity in one of gaming's most vibrant UGC platforms.
So I don't need you guys anymore. What?
That was quite a gimmick there, Jonah.
Yeah.
No,
It did mess up one of the words, but that was, yeah.
Which one?
Controversy.
Oh, no, that didn't mess it up. That's the British way of saying it. You listen to any British person, they'll say that. They'll say controversy that way.
Okay.
Weird.
Yeah, so you guys are now obsolete.
Okay.
What really, what it strikes me is that it actually, that AI voice actually, does inhales.
Yeah, it's actually better than the freaking automated telemarketers that call me and asking if they want Medicaid or Medicare or whatever.
It also knows when to stress words too.
Yeah, that's creepy.
But here's the thing. I remember some videos on YouTube about Las Vegas and everything, and I could tell the script was generated by AI. But then I realized, oh wait, the voice is also AI, and it wasn't a bad voice, but it was almost the same quality as this voice. Anyways, yeah, they don't know if it's just. See, some people confuse AI with generative AI, and they say it looks overprocessed, but sometimes people do that. It's hard to tell sometimes if something doesn't look quite right, if it was human or not. I mean, people are complaining that Plants vs. Zombies Replanted was done was done automatically.
Mm-hmm.
To tell the truth, I really couldn't tell the difference. It was just sharper, that's all.
Meanwhile, you had Call of Duty that used straight up Studio Ghibli AI slop in its calling cards.
Yeah, I mean,
there's a lot of that happening.
You can tell when it's stolen, especially when the AI does its weird quirks, like sometimes not being able to spell,
the piss
repeating
filter
images, having weird faces out of nowhere.
Pokemon
A to Z to A has it.
There's a story of this, I guess, rich couple wants to do $65 billion to kids or whatever, and they make jokes because the woman looks like she's AI. She has this blank stare that looks like an AI eye stare. It's so crazy now.
I remember.
Don't even know if this is a real person.
I remember there was this B movie, and they were talking about it on Red Letter Media, in which this Asian actress sounded like this. My name is Han, Joan Han. I work for the Gazette. And they're saying, she's Siri. She sounds exactly like Siri, even though she's actually speaking. It's sort of like she has this monotone voice. At least maybe she doesn't speak English, but she has this monotone voice. Are you Ralph? Are you Ralph Thing? Because I am from the newspaper. It was just so weird. It's like a movie from the 80s, and she was just like, where'd they get this actress from? She sucks. Like, she's not only reading from a teleprompter, but she is the teleprompter. So, yeah. I don't know.
There's definitely a lot of indies that are against AI, and they have a little logo saying this game is not made with generative AI. It's free.
By the way, AI. Tim Sweeney in the same interview talked about it, and he said that Steam shouldn't bother having the AI notification because everything's going to have AI soon. And I'm thinking, no, that's not true.
Yeah, definitely against that.
No, it's not true. Steam, there's not everybody's going to have that, especially indie filmmaker. I backed this Kickstarter product, right? And it seemed like a good product, and people had play tested it before. But a day before it was actually passed, it was yanked by Kickstarter. The game was Survive Nuclear Apocalypse, and I was wondering why. And then I look at the developer, and I said, "Oh, okay, it's kind of obvious." Because here's the name of the studio. Board Collie is a one-man creative studio specializing in strategic board game development, from concept to production. Founded by a passionate gamer, and this is a board game, the studio combines AI-assisted artwork. Oh, stop!
Yep.
That's why I got torpedoed. You can't do that. You can't do that on Kickstarter. Because here's the thing: legally, they can get sued, and he'll get sued. Generative AI artwork is basically using copyrighted material from another source. All he has to do is here's what he has to do. Hire an artist. Hire an artist. Just hire an artist to do all of your cards. Don't bother with the AI. Because here's the thing. He did get his game play tested, right? And you can have AI art on a play test because you're not selling it. You're just, doing it as a placeholder, right? But you can't have it in your final product. And it seems like a good game. The only thing you can do now is just restart the start the Kickstarter, a new Kickstarter for the same game, but this time make sure that it uses real art made by a human being.
Yeah, I mean, it's not getting harder to tell, but like there are like I will admit there are occasions where like there is something that like people feel like it could be AI, but it's just not, and then they drag that person, and then it turns out it wasn't AI. But it wouldn't be so bad if it wasn't being stuffed into every corner of everything to the point that it's got people that paranoid. Like, I don't know. I wish it wasn't misused so much, because maybe it could be used for something cool, but no, it has to be used for thievery at every turn.
Asian parks out there. Don't do that. You're banging your keyboard, and it's making a loud noise, or somebody is.
But yeah, so as far like even just today, I saw somebody posting like, "What if Hollow Knight was a 3D game?" And then they proceeded to post the most uncanny valley sloppy shit, where like the character is just like.
See, that's what annoys me. Nobody wants Hollow Knight in 3D. They like it in 2D with the pixels and the graphics that it has. That's what they love about it. You know,
they made fun of that with the new Vampire Survivor game, in which they had an SNES 3D version of Vampire Survivors at first. They said, "Nah, we're just kidding. It's gonna be an RPG. It's gonna be a roguelike adventure."
And it's so stupid that to do that anyways, because it already exists. It's called 3D Mario games, and they've been around for decades. Like, come on, fucking. If people like that had their way, we wouldn't have the masterpiece that was fucking 2017 Hollow Knight.
No, if people thought that way, we would have endless versions of PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds.
Exactly, and it's so annoying. It's so annoying to see that stuff. Like, no, come up with a creative idea. Fucking come up with something yourself.
The problem with gamers is that gamers want what they've already played. They don't want anything new. So you have to give them something new to discover.
These people aren't gamers. They're fucking opportunists that are trying to cash it, like trying to take things they think people like.
Innocent. I mean, I want another Mass Effect, a real Mass Effect. I want another real Dragon Age. You know, it's not like I don't want something old, but then again, when I have something new, when I play something like Balatro, it's like, and the problem is when you do make something new, now you have all these Balatro clones. Oh, here's Balatro as a slot machine. Oh, here's Balatro as a roulette, you know?
Yeah, but these clown houses aren't trying to make like Hollow Knight but something else. They're trying to make Hollow Knight, and that's like their version of Hollow Knight. And it's like not even pretending to be something else. It's got Hollow Knight's characters and aesthetic in it. It's just attached to shit.
Which is why Metroid Prime 4 is suffering so much, is that people set such a high expectation for it. There was no way it was going to match it. And being passable is not good enough. I will say, people really do not like Tears of the Kingdom.
I did.
Their opinion has slid so far, and they have valid reasons for it too. But it's like, you know, they have something new, but then again, we do have something new like Mighty Number 9, and people don't seem to like, oh wait, it's not new. It's just Mega Man.
Well, I mean, they wanted Mega Man, and it turned into this 3D thing that didn't really resemble Mega Man.
The problem with Mighty Number 9 was that Japanese developers seemed to, or at least had, a very weird idea of how much money they could have. They had nothing ready for Mighty Number 9. They made it from scratch, when really, when you're doing a Kickstarter, your project should be half over. You should already have it half over and ready to, you know, all it needs is funding and a little bit more time. Don't do it from scratch, because you don't know how much it's going to cost. Because they did Mighty Number 9 and said, oh, we need more money. Oh, we need more money. Oh, we need more money, so we're going to have to release this half finished because we didn't get enough money. It's the opposite of what happened to Double Fine. They did a thing. Thought they were going to get $50,000 because they were going to do a documentary. They weren't going to do an actual game. They got $3 million, and they ended up making Broken Age. So I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of games coming out that that reinvent or just revisit older games, but are still fun. And I don't know.
Here's the thing: I don't care if a game is a remaster or a remake or a sequel or whatever, just so long as it's fun.
Yeah.
The rest doesn't really matter. I mean, let's take you for an example. You see a JRPG done in NES or SNES style. It's sort of like telling a hungry dog, "Hey, here's a doggy treat. You're gonna go after it every time." You'll do the 20th Trails from the Sky sequel. You'll be all on it. Oh, this is just a remaster of the Japanese version that never came in the US. Oh, please, yes. People like what they like.
Absolutely.
But the thing is, when you get someone to do something new, like Balatro comes out, it's like, or Vampire Survivors. I mean, I like roguelikes, but not that much. But Vampire Survivors is a roguelike that you can just play. I didn't think I would like Dead Cells, but I did. Is there any game that wasn't your genre, but you ended up loving? Either of you?
Oh yeah, The Messenger, which is
but that's a JRPG. Come on.
Messenger is not a JRPG. Messenger is
Sea of Stars.
Sea of Stars is, but Messenger isn't. Messenger is a side-scrolling Ninja Gaiden game for the most part, and I tend to suck at those, But it was a lot of fun. Another one, I guess, maybe better example.
Wasn't the Messenger in the same universe as Sea of Stars?
It is in the same universe, but it's a different. It's a entirely different gameplay. It's not turn-based combat, and you're doing platforming and getting killed over and over again. At least I am, anyways. And I had a hard time with jumps and a hard time getting crushed and just dealing with very difficult bosses. And
no wonder you backed that Kickstarter. So, the guys from the Messenger are doing a JRPG? So,
yeah, exactly. It's like, oh, okay, this I want.
How about you, TJ?
I don't know off the top of my head.
I'll give one. The recent one was Chance of Shannara. It's one of those puzzle games, sort of like Return to the Obra Dinn, except with language. And I tried to like Return to the Obra Dinn. I just couldn't get into it. But Chance of Shannara, I did get into it. And I 100%ed it and did the entire game from beginning to end. It was that great.
Nice.
Have you ever played Chance of Shannara?
I have not.
Oh, okay. You should try it at some point. It's really interesting. And the music is awesome. So anyways. I should have an AI say this for me. Look for our show notes at gamingpodcast.net along with industry news and our gaming history articles. We enjoy feedback. Send us comments on our blog at gamingpodcast.net. Also, hit us up at facebook.com/gamingpodcast. Subscribe to us on iTunes. Leave us iTunes comments. You can find me on Twitter. Well, not Twitter. You can find me at Blue Sky at Jonah Falcon.
You can find me at Johnny Chugs.
You can find me at Sarah Sage.
And you will see us next week. I'm pretty sure that there's going to be a lot more. We're going to be getting more into what we've been playing than news, because it's about that time of thing in which all these games are coming out.
Yep. And also, we got the Game Awards right in the corner, which means there'll be plenty to be angry about.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really give a shit about the Game Awards. Let me tell you something. The Alters got no nominations, which is criminal.
Yeah,
I think.
And Donkey Kong did?
I really think that Trials, Daybreak, or the first remake should have been nominated because they have very innovative combat with the action and turn-based combined, and you can flip between them, and I think that's pretty awesome. And
I'm seriously believing that in order to get nominated, you have to give them money. and Sony gives Jeff Keighley a lot of money, which is why, even though they do some wacky nominations, the BAFTA awards still do better video game awards than these guys do.
Like this, the simulation has Final Fantasy Tactics against Civilization 7, but that doesn't make any sense to me. Like, how can you compare those two games?
Like I said, our awards are better, and I'll be soon giving out the nominee list. It is December, after all. But here's the other thing. We actually take games from this year, unlike the awards, which for some reason doesn't include December games, which is why Indiana Jones and the Great Circle wasn't nominated last year for that. But I think if it had been, it would have swept the awards with Troy Baker leading the charge. Although I do like the guy who did the voice for Voss. I think it would be between him and Troy Baker. Because Voss was one of the best Indiana Jones villains in a long while. So, did you ever finish that game, Scott?
Which game?
Indiana Jones and the Great Circle.
I haven't finished that. I should finish that. That's a good one to finish. I've had so many games to play, so it's like, I should finish that one.
How much of it did you play, TJ?
I got to the end of the base game. I haven't touched the DLC yet.
I haven't touched the DLC yet. But I'm going to say, it's a hard decision for me who was better, Troy Baker or the guy who does the voice of Voss. Because Voss was an entertaining character. Like I said, he's one of the best villains in a long time for an Indiana Jones game.
Yes, he's very good. What's that word? Narcissistic Nazi.
Yeah, they took Tote and they took Belloc and they smushed them together to make Voss.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, we will see you next week.
Happy gaming, everyone.
Have fun, be cool, play games, y'all.